Hello, hello, and welcome to Supporting Black Authors Book Club. I am your host, Minister Deborah Davis, also the author of My Daddy, the Devil, and Me, coming to you live on Facebook and on YouTube as I do every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have an awesome guest tonight. So get ready. I'm going to read her bio. Pastor Queenie with us tonight. I'm so excited. Pastor M. Queenie Green. I'm going to read her bio. Pastor M. Queenie Green, affectionately known as Pastor Queenie, she brings a unique voice to the Christian fiction genre. She identifies our deepest struggles and provides a life applicable biblical solutions. Pastor Queenie's life experiences has shaped her bold, candid, and creative writing style. She draws the reader in through riveting storylines that have more highs and lows and twists and turns than a roller coaster. Pastor Queenie's Freedom Journals are an excellent accomplishment to her books as they give the reader an opportunity to look at their own lives, their own truths, and journal through it and find hope, peace, and freedom. Pastor Queenie is more than an author. She's a business coach, a media personality, and an entrepreneur. She has penned two CDs, Queenie Presents and Sunday Morning and Grateful Live. Pastor Queenie is the founder and CEO of Queenie Sings Ministries, Lady Lanterns Association, and River of Life, Freehold, New Jersey. Pastor Queenie is also the president of Inspirational Music Group, host of Queenie Live, formerly the Story Radio TV show, co-owner of Okari Clothing, and she leads a team to greatness in her Mary Kay business. Pastor Queenie has a passion for teaching, and she teaches extensively from the books in prisons, Bible studies, book club, conferences, and more. Pastor Queenie's quote for life is reach, embrace, and enjoy. Reach for what God is calling you to do. Embrace every opportunity to serve and enjoy every blessing for your obedience. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to some and present to others Pastor Queenie, the author of Diary of a Masquerade.
Thank
Welcome to
you.
Supporting Black Authors Book Club.
Thank you. What a pleasure to be here.
I'm excited to have you. You know, we go a long ways back, Pastor Queenie.
Yes, we do. Yes,
And
we do.
I asked you to come on. You didn't hesitate. You said, yes, I
Absolutely.
will do it. And I love that. Even when I've asked you to come preach, come sing, you say yes. You know,
Absolutely.
you don't hesitate. But I want to thank you tonight. I want the listeners, those that are watching, if you have any questions, any comments whatsoever, please put them in the comment. Thank you all for joining in. Hello, Evangelist Pitts. Hi, you'll be coming up soon, but we're going to talk to Pastor Queenie tonight. Her book, Diary of a Masquerade. I am reading the book. I'm reading it. It is a wonderful book. So you guys know we support our Black authors. So we're going to buy the book. We are definitely going to buy the book. I have so many books. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But we want to talk about Diary of a Masquerade. I'm going to ask you some questions. Is that okay?
That's fine.
First, one of the first questions I usually ask authors is, what inspired you to write Diary of a Masquerade?
People, all kinds of people, people that I come in contact with, little bits and pieces of scenes that happen through life. Just inspired me to write about them. Like one of my friends was sharing with me, she doesn't have any children.
Mm-hmm.
And she was left with to watch one of her friends' kids, and she wouldn't know what to. She didn't know what to do. So from there, I can imagine a scene in my head. So I was out with my husband with that same friend, and we were looking for diapers for one of my grandchildren.
Yeah.
And we're trying to find the right size diapers, and she was just like, "Well, get this one. You know, it says of 14 pounds. And I said, but who told you that? And she said, well, I thought it meant I was 14 pounds away.
Oh,
So
wow.
I can put that whole piece together and I can come up with a scene in the book.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, I like these are fictional characters in your book, but they are based on real life issues and
Yeah,
real life people, and it pertains to real life issues. And that is one thing that I like a lot because in this book, Diary of a Masquerade, you can find yourself in there somewhere.
absolutely. Absolutely.
You can find yourself in there. So, what is the inspiration behind the title, Diary of a Masquerade?
Well, in this particular book, Chastity is a character from my first book, and we have a behind the scenes look into her life and how
Mhm.
she really hides. She hides behind business, she hides behind family, she hides behind materialistic things. She
Yes.
has masked her life behind all of these things. So it's about her diary of her masquerade.
And speaking of your first book, this is your first book,
Yeah,
Diary of a Desperate Mind.
yeah.
But we're talking about Diary of a Masquerade, but I did want to show this one too, because we got to talk about what inspired those two books. So you spoke about chastity, and one thing I do remember that stood out to me in the book is that when she went to the therapist, that was the first time she really broke down and cried in 30 years. 30 years. And it just made me think about how we hold on to things for so long. And that could be some of the reasons why we have the issues that we have. And I just want to say, that my grandmother, a strong woman, I can say my grandmother's 98 and I've never seen her cry. You know, I'm sure she has, but it's just that I've never seen that. So
Right.
that part stood out to me in the book, that it took her 30 years before she cried. So was that something that you have gone through, or have you known someone that just held on to pain like that?
Well, around me, men are often taught, don't cry, man up, get up, shut up. If you fall on the floor. So we kind of teach men to hold in their feelings,
Mm-hmm.
not really express themselves, which is unfair to them. A lot of times we as strong women are told you're strong,
Yeah.
you can handle this, you can go through it, and then it creates this false reality for us. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're supposed to be strong, we're supposed to be able to handle it, and
Mm-hmm.
then we take on what other people think of us, and we try to walk in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
It causes other problems for us. It can bring on health issues,
Mm-hmm.
on
Stress.
relationship issues,
Yes.
all kinds of stress.
Yes.
We take on this persona that other people put on us. So
Mm-hmm.
be careful of that.
We do. Because I think about, if we just let everything that people throw at us, we let it stick to our heart, stick to our
Right.
mind, just it's going to weigh us down. It's going to
Absolutely.
weigh us down. It's a stronghold,
It is.
some of the pain and some of the issues that Chastity went through, as a married woman, and she had an extra marital affair, and, the things that she went through in her life. Let's talk about some of the things in the book. I want you to point out to the listening audience, and thank you all for joining us. If you are just joining us, we are interviewing our dear Pastor Queenie. Thank God for you, Pastor Queenie. And if you have any questions, any comments, you can put it in the comment and she will be sure to take your questions. And people are saying, hi, Pastor, and hello. Hi, Apostle Darlene Harvey. Hello, Pastor Maria Vaughn. Want to say hi to some people that are watching. We thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Please ask some questions. So, in writing your books, was there ever a time while you were writing, because this is supporting Black Authors Book Club, and authors do tune in so they can just get some insight. So when you were writing your book, did you ever come to a point where you just had a block, like just a reader's block?
I did. It took over a year to get this book out. It, it I did have writer's block. Um, one of the most important things I would say to authors is this: don't allow people to hijack your creativity, your
Mm.
intellectual property. Because I work with a promoter to help me promote my book. And unfortunately, we end up having a parting of the ways midway through the process. And that's one of the main reasons why this book has not gotten the promotion as my previous book has received, because she wanted me to use a different editor. And
Hmm. Hmm.
when she got finished editing the book, I didn't recognize the book. I said, this isn't my book. These aren't
I'm
my
sorry,
characters.
Pastor Queenie, but that is
So,
a shame.
I had to fire her.
Wow.
So it took a minute to get the book back to its the authentic place it needed to be, because
Yeah.
the diaries all connect.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
the
We're
first
gonna get to that.
diary
We're gonna get to that. We're
connects
gonna
to the second diary. So,
get
you know, I want my material to have its authentic space, and that each
Absolutely.
piece links to the next.
Absolutely.
Don't allow people to hijack your creative content. Stay true to
Yes.
who you are and what God has placed inside of you. And He's releasing through you. You can edit it grammatically and do all of that kind of stuff, but don't let them change the content of what it is that you're trying to say.
Amen. Oh, I want to welcome. Hi, Darlene Gillum. Hi, my auntie Ethel. Hello, author Kathleen. You are a number one fan. She never misses supporting Black Authors Book Club. Rhonda Jackson. And while we're at it, before I ask my next question, she says, awesome. It's a great tool to help you work through your life issues or concerns. Yes, yes. So we're gonna tell the listeners where they can get the book before I ask any more questions, because I like for people to just stop what they're doing, but not watching the interview, of course,
You can
and
get
just
the book.
order this book.
You
Order Diary of a Masquerade. I'm reading the
can,
book, and it is a good book. And I'm not just saying that, but tell them where they can get it before we move forward.
you can order the book at Amazon.com, or you can order it on my website at QueenieSings.com.
QueenieSings.com. You know I want to hear you sing, don't you? But I ain't gonna put you on the spot. They'll be trying to get your CD instead of your book. Oh my God, especially a change gonna come. Woo!
Oh my
I
goodness.
don't feel like crying, so I'm definitely not going.
I didn't warm up this thing, so I can't.
You said you warmed up?
I did not. I did not.
Because I'll ask you to sing in a minute, but this is not, we're gonna talk about the book.
We're talking about the book.
So, um, when writing your book, did you try more to be original or to deliver to the readers what you think they wanted to read?
No. I
Hmm.
wrote what God had given me. I stayed true to the characters, and developing who they were and bringing forth their story.
Okay, come on, that's right, y'all. Give her some hearts, give her some love. I want to see some hearts and some likes. Share the interview. Share, like. Because we want people to buy Diary of a Masquerade. That's what this week is about, and we want to support our authors. And I want to say the name of the show is Supporting Black Authors Book Club, but it's not just about Black authors. God just gave me that name, and we have not only interviewed Black authors. Go back on the page and you'll see that. So we don't want anybody to get any bent out of shape. Everyone is welcome to the club. Okay?
Amen.
So give us some hearts and some likes. So I did notice that your in your writing style. It's in the form of a diary. Do you want each book to stand on its own? Because we have the two books. She wrote Diary of a Desperate Mind and Diary of a Masquerade. So do you want these books to stand on their own, or are you trying to build a body of work with connections between each book?
There is going to be 4 books of the diary series, and 2 are out so far. So there is 2 more of this series to come.
Wow, somebody said, somebody around the Jackson, she said, go ahead and sign. Don't be
Oh
trying
my
to put her on
goodness.
the spot. We are not putting her on the spot. We'll bring her back, and we'll support her CDs. How about that? How about
Okay.
that? Yes. Yeah. So y'all ask her some questions. You know, somebody says beware of creative. Oh, that must have been when you was talking about the editing. Kathleen Joyner, she's an
Yeah,
author. She says beware of creative hijackers.
that's right. That's right. That's what
Wow.
they
She
try
said
to
that was a
do.
good word.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. Because
yeah.
they'll take your work and they'll create it and make it their own.
That
They,
and that's what they tried to do, but no,
mhm.
they're gonna get my stuff back. And let me also share this with you. I pre-copyright everything before I send it to anybody.
Mhm.
It's worth the extra money to me.
It is. It is.
So
It is.
before I send my book to an editor to be edited, I've already copywritten what I've already wrote.
See?
So you
So that
can't
way you know can't nobody steal your work.
can't nobody steal it because it's already been copywritten.
And
Tell
Darlene
me,
Harvey says, thank you for sharing such good information.
you're welcome.
Yes. So as a writer, I've never asked this question before.
Okay.
I just came to this question today. So this you're getting the first question this time on
Okay.
this. And it's as a writer, what would you choose as your mascot, avatar, or spiritual animal? I think I know what you're going to say.
What would I use as my avatar?
What would you choose as your mascot,
As my man?
avatar, or spiritual animal
Oh,
as a
that's
writer?
as a writer.
Yeah, you never thought about that, of course.
I haven't. Um, I guess maybe a lion.
Ooh, I was close. I was thinking eagle. I said she gonna say it. Lion, lion. Why?
Because a lion is not afraid.
Come on.
A lion is not afraid. They're not afraid of their surroundings. They're not afraid of anything that tries to attack them. Because I'm
Mm,
not afraid to approach any subject. I'm not afraid to address anything, whether
mm.
it's something that I personally dealt with or something that I know that people are dealing with. There's no content that's off limit because if we want people to really be healed and delivered, we have to be able to talk about it. And I think that one of the things that I really strive for in my book is to come from a Christian perspective. And as
Mhm, mhm.
Christians, a lot of times we want to make certain subjects off limits. Oh, we can't talk about that in the church. Well, we need to talk about it in the church. We really need to talk about it in the church. And that should be the safest space to have the conversation. So that's
And
one way that we can open up the door and begin to have the conversation because this book can get a little salacious.
I was gonna say that when reading the book, can
You get a little
I
hot.
say it? Can I say it?
You can.
There were a few curse words in the book, and you
It
know,
gets a little deep.
and I was a little surprised, and I was like, wow, but you keeping it real,
We
you
are.
know.
And if we can really be honest, we as clergy, we as Christians, if
Hmm.
we take back the masquerade, pull it off,
Take it off and be honest.
and be honest, some of us cuss, Some of us lie. Some of us have dealt with or are dealing with some of the issues that are in these books.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of dealing with it so that we can get through it, we are masquerading
So good.
behind
That's so
titles
good.
and
That's so good.
positions. Because this is the truth. We masquerade behind title and position
Come on.
instead of getting healed and delivered. So it's
You
time
know,
that, we have to take the
take it
masquerade
off.
off.
Take it
We
off.
have to cry, stop hiding, holding on to stuff for 30, 40 years. And we really have to deal with these secrets.
Like sometimes you might stomp a toe. It's hard. Sometimes you might just, and it might slip out, not intentionally. Somebody gave the thumbs up on the cuss words. Darlene are cool. She's so crazy. Also, Kathleen Joyner, she says, what advice would you give to an aspiring writer?
What advice would I give to an aspiring writer? Write.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is waiting to hear from you.
Hmm.
Right. Somebody
Right.
is waiting to hear from you.
Right. Right.
Don't be afraid of it.
Don't be afraid. But I like that. I like that.
Right.
I love
Somebody
this.
is waiting to hear from you.
I love this masquerade. I love that right there. That's good because you know a lot of us we hide behind titles, we hide behind collars.
Yes.
I try not to. I don't even when I'm doing my interview. I sometimes like to point out something that I've ran across. What with this right here, it made me think when the pandemic came and it hit, and I was kind of lost as to what it was that I wanted to do. Where was I headed? Where was I? So much came down on me to what God really wanted from me to do. He want me sitting up in there with a collar on, sitting on the same spot, doing the same thing over and over again. I don't want to offend nobody. I'm not trying to offend no church, but I think it's time for me to hit the streets. So that's what happened. I said, I got to take this thing off. You understand? So
Absolutely.
yeah, because you look, you're the most realest Christian I know.
Thank you.
Okay, let's keep it real.
Ministry has to pivot. And we as Christians have to pivot because
Yeah.
we really have to understand that the church is not the building. We are the church. And if we're not going to rise up and be who he has called us to be, the bridegroom is not going to come back for us. We're going to be the virgins with no oil in our lamp.
Yes, absolutely.
You are going to be the virgin with no oil in your lamp.
Ooh.
So when the call comes, you're going to be saying to the virgins that are ready, can I get some oil? And they're going to say, no, go get you some.
Go get you some. Apostle Darlene Harvey, she says, do you think most people masquerade no matter the position or success? Do they realize how unreal they really are?
I think that there can be a point of masquerade in everybody. And that's real. There can be a point of masquerade in everybody. The realness comes in. How are you going to handle it when it comes? Because the enemy is going to pull your card.
You better come on.
How are you going to handle it when the situation comes? Because in the beginning of the book, her mask was literally ripped off by Michaela in the restaurant.
Yeah, and I like that, because they were good friends. They were good friends. And she told her, she said, look, you need counseling.
You need it.
And she was offended by that. And sometimes we offend our friends. We don't intentionally mean to offend our friends, but sometimes that mask does come off and the realness come out. And a lot of times people can't handle the realness. People can't handle the truth. People can't handle genuine love, genuine truth, authentic love. And they can't handle you being upfront and honest. And that's what happened. They
want you to be a friend, but they
Mhm.
want you to be a yes friend. They want you to be a yes friend. They
Yes.
want you to say yes to everything they're doing,
Mhm.
agree with everything that's going on. But the
Mhm.
moment that you come to them and you are honest and open about what's broken, what's not right, what's going the wrong way, then they become offended. As Christians, we should never be offended.
Hey, we got a question for you. We got a
We
good
should
question. We got a
okay.
good one. Come on. So, Valerie Jarrett, she says, how can you use cuss words as a Christian? Please make me understand that.
Because I wasn't cussing, the character was.
Nah. Mm.
I wasn't cussing, the character was.
Did you hear what she said? She said it wasn't her, it was the character in the book. Okay? I mean, you know.
I'm not Chastity. I'm not Michaela.
Hmm.
I'm not any of the characters. I wasn't cussing. It was the character.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for that.
So, plus, look, my thing is all have sinned, come short of the glory of God. We're not going to just be perfect beings,
Absolutely.
um I want to bring somebody on. We got to find somebody that's writing a book about should we um drink wine on communion Sunday like Jesus said to do. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that, Pastor Queenie. I'm not touching that one right now.
The good church folks don't
He
have
said
agree
it.
with that because that could fall in the category of why is the pastor cussing? And they can't differentiate
But
the
we're gonna have to come
pastor,
back and we're gonna have
the
to talk
office.
about that thing, that wine thing, because Jesus turned it in the water into wine. People like, oh, he ain't drink no. Look, he said wine. This wine is represents my blood. He didn't say grape juice represent my. We're gonna have to come back a whole nother subject, but we're gonna stick to the masquerade, right?
Some people would struggle with that. Some
I
people really
know.
would struggle
I
with that.
know. I understand. That's why we read
They
it.
can't differentiate
Mhm.
what is.
I ain't drinking no wine, y'all.
I'm just saying, it's really true. It's really, really true.
She said, okay, understood. She said, understood.
Good.
Yes. So, what advice can you give to the real people that are based upon your characteristics in the book? Because in the book, there are several issues that people have,
Yeah.
and you say, that they're tripping down memory lane. There's a predator being born, and so when it comes to breaking the chain and unveiling the mask, because we have a lot of women that are watching, and when it comes to peeling that thing back and unveiling that mask, give them some advice as to what would be the right road and how they can go down the right road to unveil the mask.
Well, in the freedom journal, there is an exercise that they can do to help them to truly unveil the mask.
Mm-hmm.
And in that exercise, it involves them interacting with somebody that they can trust, asking somebody they can trust a series of questions, and then taking a honest look at themselves and answering some questions.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, when you go through the exercise that's in that freedom journal, don't be mad, don't be offended, don't respond in a negative or adverse
Mm-hmm.
way towards the person. You
Mm-hmm.
ask that person because you trust their opinion. You
Mm-hmm.
trust that they're going to give you the truth. So
Yes.
receive it in love. Receive
Yes.
it because they're trying to help you. Receive it because they're not going to give you anything that is going to harm you.
Yes.
If you can't receive it from that person, then don't ask them.
I think that one of the worst things is having a smile and just dying on the inside. That's the worst mask to me.
Absolutely.
You know, like you just, why? Look, my face talks too much. I've been told that.
Yeah.
You know, I have been sitting up in the pulpit, and they say, "Girl, you better watch your face," because I'm like, you know, the
Yeah.
truth,
Yeah.
and your facial expressions tell a lot.
Absolutely.
They tell a lot, a lot, a lot. But I just feel that it's horrible to be walking around with a fake smile on the outside, just a smile, but you're dying on the inside.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
horrible.
Absolutely.
I've been there,
Absolutely.
you
I
know,
think
but
we all have.
I think everybody has.
We all have.
Yeah.
We
So
all.
I want you to just tell everybody where they can purchase your book. But before you tell them where they can purchase their book, if there is somebody that is watching and you have a mask on today and you're living a masquerade lifestyle, Pastor Queenie wants to tell you how to take that mask off, how to begin the healing process.
Absolutely. So I want to encourage you to pick up these two books right here, Diary of a Masquerade and Diary of a Masquerade Freedom Journal. Read the book, then do the Freedom Journal. The Freedom Journal is going to help you get free.
Mm.
No sense in living in bondage. There's no sense in living behind a mask, putting on a front because you're fooling yourself. God wants you to be your authentic you. Your authentic you. And guess what? So do you. It takes a lot of work to walk around with a mask on all the time. It's time to be free. So you can relax and become who God truly wants you to be.
Yes. Yes.
That's
You
it.
know, this is so good.
Thank
I don't want to end. I don't want to let you go, but they'll be saying, she said that it was a 30-minute show, but she gave Pastor Queenie 4 minutes.
I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just love you. I love
Love
you. I love
you.
you. I want you to oh, look at all the hearts.
Oh,
Wow.
thank
Thank y'all
you.
so much.
Thank you.
She's worth a lot of hearts. You know,
I love all of you. Thank you for your love and support. Pick up
yes,
your copy
yes.
today. Get it at Amazon.com or you can go to my website, queeniesthings.com, and get your copy.
You are not getting my copy. You're not getting my copy. You're not getting my copy. That's for sure. So, Pastor Queenie, I want to thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I don't want to take up too much more of your time. And I just want to thank you for coming. And I definitely, I always tell everybody we want to bring you back. The calendar is filling up. We have special guests coming. You know, keep your eyes on Supporting Black Authors Book Club. Put some posts up. We got a real special guest coming in October.
Yeah.
Yes, Matthew Knowles is coming.
Very nice.
Yes, he's going to discuss his book, Destiny's Child: The Untold Story. But we got some other authors coming before him, you know. So we got Evangelist Danielle Pitts coming.
Awesome.
We have Gwendolyn Carson coming. So we have some very awesome authors coming. But look at you too. Ooh, okay. We got some YouTube viewers. That's so good. Pastor Queenie, it's only because of you.
Oh, okay.
And I just want to thank you so much. I love you. I love you. And if anybody wants the book and you can't get the book, inbox me so I can get it for you. Because what we do is we support our authors. We support them. You know, I'm going to tell you, if you don't have Daddy's Girl by Angela Lavette Hawkins, we interviewed her. Get her book. Get her book. Get her book. Get it. Daddy's Girl. You can Google it. It'll come up. And if you don't have Addiction by Robert Reddick, get it. Get his book. I'm supporting my authors. I'm supporting them, you know. And Teresa Harrison, The Ultimate Flight Plan. So, you know, I just wanted to share their books. But most of all, tonight, I want you to go out and get Diary of a Masquerade.
Thank you.
Yes, I want you to get it. And if you don't want to get the book, we want to sow into Pastor Queenie's life. So, Pastor Queenie, what is your cash app?
It's
Let's get
dollar
that.
sign Queenie sings.
What is it?
Dollar sign Queenie sings.
That's easy. I ain't even gotta write that down. Dollar sign Queenie sings. Everybody go to your cash app.
Oh, bless y'all.
The woman of God. Sow into the woman of God. This is a true woman of God. You're sowing on good grounds. So I'm just gonna say, watch your cash app tonight because
Thank you.
God is pleased at what you're doing in the body of Christ. So we want to thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank
Thank you for
everybody
having me.
that tunes in tonight. Please go to your Cash App, go to Amazon. Okay, they're saying, I'm getting your book.
Thank
Uh-huh.
you.
Uh-huh.
Thank
I just
you.
bought it. That's what I'm saying.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
right. And you can still Cash App. Let's
Bless you. Thank you.
cash in Pastor Queenie's pockets tonight, okay? Come on. Can I get some hearts on that? Can I get an amen? Pastor Queenie, thank you so much, dear.
Thank you for having me.
I love you to
I
life.
love you too. And I
And
will join. I'm going to try and join you, you all next week too.
oh yeah, yeah.
Send a reminder so I don't
Yeah,
forget.
I'll send you a reminder. I'm always posting and
Oh,
stuff. I'll
you're
just
so
tag
funny.
you and stuff, you know.
Beautiful.
What I wanted to do, I want to do local authors as much as I can, you know,
Beautiful.
those
Beautiful.
that we know.
Yeah,
So
because you're introducing me to some local authors that I was not aware of. And
mhm.
I mean, you all cannot see, but I have a section up here on my bookshelf of just local authors.
My book up there.
Whole section. Right, it's up here. My daddy did the read. A
Okay.
whole section of
All
just
right.
local book authors, local
Yeah,
authors that I buy books of. And I have all of these together.
that's so good. So just before you go, once again, Robert Reddick, Addiction, buy his book. We have the 8 authors of Daddy's Girl, visionary Angela Lavette Hawkins Williams, purchased their book. Come on, this is the club. This is the club. We're
Yeah,
in the club now.
that's
And
right.
we're going to support one another. And we have to Dr. Teresa Harrison, the self-publishing your book.
That's a good
Okay,
question.
that's a good book. But most importantly tonight, it's all about Diary of a Masquerade. Thank you so much,
Thank
Pastor
you.
Queen. God bless you
God bless.
and good night. I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. We had a wonderful, wonderful time. Go back, listen to the recording. Come back next week with our special guest, Gwendolyn Carson. She's coming on. So I want y'all to be back Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. And you know we have a special guest coming in October. Okay, yes, Diary of a Masquerade. That's right. Go purchase it. And or just sow into her Cash App, dollar sign Queenie Sings. Give us some hearts, give us some